Alright gang, welcome back to a Frugal Millionaire Challenge on Mazo. It's February, day one. Clearly, I've made a lot of money. Clearly, I've taken down a lot of trees. And let me kind of show you what I'm talking about here. We've cleared a lot. There's not many left, and I truly think today we could even get to $1 million. Now, I've mentioned a number of times that I wanted to do some kind of a harvest before we ended this episode, or this series, excuse me. But the more that I'm kind of going through here, I don't think it's going to happen. We would have to skip a ton of months, and now while we certainly could do that, I just don't think that's the approach I wanted to take. If I had to skip 1 month, that's one thing, but it would be a significant portion. Just to give you an idea, we're in February right now. We wouldn't be able to harvest anything until June. That's a lot of skipping, right? That's a lot of skipping. So we're going to modify that a little bit. So I apologize for those of you that were excited to see a last harvest, but we're going to modify that a little bit and kind of go from there. So I'm going to continue to keep chopping these trees down as much as I can here. I just screwed that one up a little bit. I've also bought another trailer, as you can see. This just helped speed it up a little bit. I'm able to put more wood chips in before I have to carry them all the way back, so it just was a smart investment in my opinion, so we went ahead and did so. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. So what we're probably going to end up doing with this series is we'll do this episode, and this may be the last episode. There may be one more, but there probably won't be any more than that. So if it doesn't end in this episode today, which would be, I guess, Saturday. Yes, Saturday for all of you watching it. If it doesn't end today, it will end on, what would that be? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. So it'll be either today, Saturday, or Wednesday. And it just depends on how things go here. I just had the volume on in the background, so I apologize, gang. There might have been a little bit of an some sound in the background that was maybe muffling everything out, so I apologize there, but long story short, we're kind of modifying the what we're going to do here again slightly, just because of how long it's going to be before we can actually harvest something, and I don't want to skip that many months. So now I do have one other thing to kind of tease. I am since of this understanding now, since I realize it's going to be done either today or the following episode. We're going to add in. May not be the smartest idea considering the campaign and the Broke to Billionaire Challenge on Ohio Richlands that we still have a lot of work to do on, but we're going to do it anyway. Even if I have to do multiple episodes, I'll figure out a way to make it work, hopefully. But we're going to do a mini-series. We're going to add one other mini-series into here. So what I'm going to do is I haven't started them yet, but I've got the idea down. I've got all the information I need for it. It's just a matter of me getting the map set up and getting started on it and getting it recorded. But I'm going to get a few of those done, give my members a little bit of early access to those, and then we'll release that. So it'll probably be a once-a-week type of series. We're going to bump the Ohio Richlands series up to a 2-a-week at a minimum. It'll probably be 3 the first week, and then maybe this new mini-series will come out after that. It might be in the next week or two. I really don't have a specific set date, but just a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a stay tuned kind of situation for you, right? There's a new series going to be coming out, a mini-series coming out that I think a lot of you are really going to enjoy. It's something that I wanted to do before FS22 comes out, because I now have the opportunity to do so. I'm not going to give anything else away besides that. That's kind of a bit of a hint or a spoiler, but I don't really know if any of you will catch on to that or not. It's not that big of a hint, I guess, but some of you that might have watched all of my series and just heard me talk about certain things, you may have an idea of what I'm trying to get at, where I'm getting at here. But in any case, that is where we're at. So that's what we're going to do with this series. So we're going to continue here, getting rid of the rest of these trees. There's not many left. There's really not. It probably will get us to the $1 million, like I said. And what I'm going to end up doing, regardless if it's this episode or the next episode, if it takes us too long in this episode, we'll wait, obviously, like I said, for a second episode, or for the following episode. But I suspect we'll be able to get it done today, and if we are, what we're going to do in place of not being able to harvest is we're going to take all of this area here that we've been chopping all these trees down, and we're going to put in another field here. Now, we won't be able to probably drill anything today unless we do grass, which maybe that's what we end up doing, but regardless, we are going to put something in here so it's not just empty land. It definitely makes the landscape look a lot different, though. So initially our goal, right, was to... let me stop that for a second there. Initially our goal was to, kind of take this field here, right, and eventually expand this up this way a little bit, and then eventually buy this plot of land and kind of combine this field and this field together, right, and make one big massive field. That was an initial goal. Clearly that's not going to happen now. Now, we do own this area right here, so we could potentially expand this one out, right, and do this. That might be what we end up doing. But there's nothing in there right now, right? There's nothing in that plot of land that we own on the other side of the trees here. It's just been plowed up. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But we still have a lot of trees to get through, so I don't want to do another episode of doing wood chips, though. I've done a lot of that. I did in the last episode exactly that's all it was just wood chip stuff with a few other minor things, but that's literally all it was. So we're not going to do that in this episode. You just got to see a little bit of it now, but I'm just going to do a little bit of a jump cut here. I'm going to get the rest of the trees down, and we'll see where we are money-wise. I suspect we're going to be well over $1 million, but take your guesses now, I guess, and see what you think we're going to be at, just to give you kind of a bird's eye view while this is happening of how many trees we actually have left to chop. I believe we can go from about here over this way and back, so quite a few, honestly. There's a lot there. Now, maybe I don't get rid of all of them. Maybe I leave some of them, but I'm just trying to decide if I want to expand this field out or not. I think I probably will, but then that will leave this big open area here. So who knows? I might think of something else to do. You never know, right? That's kind of where we're at for now, though. So it's going to take me a while to get these down. A long while, honestly. It's not a quick process here. If I bought some more trailers, it might be a little bit faster, but probably not, honestly. So we're at 800 and about 10,000 probably by the time we're done with this. So we're going to probably end the series in this episode. So let's get the trees down. We'll see where we're at, and we'll go from there, gang. All right, gang, this should just about do it. There's still a good amount of trees over there, but this should get us over the $1 million plateau, and I believe that is the final thing we had to do to accomplish the goals for this series. Now, while that's happening, I'll show you a bird's eye view, the best I can do for a bird's eye view of where we got to. So it was pretty much here, about halfway, a little bit more than halfway, I guess, but we still had all these trees we could have taken down if we wanted to. So I think what we're going to do to finish the episode is extend this field. Now, it's going to be a bit awkward. We're probably going to do a little round, little loop here and just kind of follow this along. Be a bit of an awkward field, but really big field nonetheless. So we're going to do that. Now, you might be asking, well, Z, why are you going to even do that? If you're going to end the episode, why would you even do that? Well, I've mentioned it a lot, right? I really enjoyed this map. I really enjoyed the farm we made here. It's one of my favorites, actually. So I just want to have it in a situation where if we want to come back to it in the future, and by the future I mean, when FS25 is out, maybe we want to just revisit FS22 at some point down the road, right? And if that comes to fruition where we do want to, revisit this series, I want it to be in a state where, we're in a good spot. We can just take over from there and carry on where we were, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, both of those are attached. I'm just going to set this over here, a bit out of the way. And we're going to grab the cultivator, and we're going to get to work right off the bat. So we did make it over $1 million, only just, but we did make it over $1 million. $1,001,793 to be exact. It's fantastic, gang. It's fantastic. What a series this turned into being. I thought we had a lot longer than we did, but the wood chips were the saving grace, I guess, or the OP grace, however you want to word it. They were the reason. They were the reason for all of this, 100%. This is going to take a while to do this field. This is not a small field. This is probably going to be the biggest field yet that we've done, somewhere around there. So this is not going to be a quick and easy thing for us to do here. It's going to take us quite a while. But first things first is we're going to do an outline like we normally would do. And that'll give us a real good idea of what we're dealing with here, right? I believe a lot of the guys have either finished or are very close to finishing this series as well. So just makes sense that we all kind of finish the series in a similar mindset and a similar time period, right? I'm pretty sure I saw Crustu, haven't watched it yet, but I saw an episode recently of him saying that he met the $1 million criteria, so he was talking about what he was going to do next with the series, if anything, and I know Farmer Mike had finished his as well, so a number of us that were doing it are done. Now, Northern Farm Sim, I haven't seen him post anything recently, so I suspect he's got a lot going on with the family and the kids, right? He's got kids that are into sports and stuff, so I suspect that might be part of the reason why you haven't seen anything from him if you do follow him. And if you don't, go give him a follow, man. He's worth it. He's a good creator. Good friend that I've, gained here. In the group of us, there's a small group of us, I would say. Yeah, it's probably a little bit bigger than a small group, I guess, at this point. But there's a group of us that, for the most part, all try to tackle each other's challenges one way or another. I'm not sure about Milk That Hen. I don't know if he's finished his or not, but I'll have to look into that. But again, I've been real busy with the news of the family stuff coming, just trying to get things done and other things we have to do around the house and everything for family. So haven't had as much time as I would have liked to watch and catch up on everybody's series. So hopefully I'll be able to do that here in the near future. So. Now, I don't know if you could hear it or not, but that we had people working through they had skid steers and stuff going through the side of our house again. They finally, after forever, after all the work they did in the backyard, remember well, if you've been with me for a while, you'll know there was excavators and all kinds of stuff in the backyard. They were redoing some piping and everything, so they kind of destroyed our yard in the process, my neighbor and I's, and between our house. And they hadn't done anything about fixing it, and it finally got fixed today. So I think they're mostly done now at this point. I tried to wait as long as I could tonight before I started. I think they're done for the night, so hopefully you don't hear them anymore unless they're just, doing some minor stuff. But we finally got some grass down. Some sod was put down in portions, so happy to finally get that taken care of, and hopefully that chapter out of our lives for a little while. So we're going around the headland here a couple times like we typically would do. There's not really going to be anything we can put in here with the exception of oilseed, radish, grass, poplar. I don't even know if I can actually drill poplar right now or not, but those I think are the only ones specifically we can do at current, I think. So I don't know if we even put anything in here or not. It might just be we get this field prepped and ready to go for what can be or would be in the future if we ever come back to this on FS22 or not. I've kind of had the idea, the thought, I don't think I'm going to have the time for it since I'm going to do this little mini-series. I kind of had the idea or thought, like, for, a couple of episodes, like a week leading up to FS25, kind of coming out with a bit of a weird series where we go back and look at every single Farming Simulator game and play, we'll just do like a one mini-series, one-off episode of each one. So we'll do a quick farming on, one of the Farming Simulators, whichever one, right, and go in order up until leading up to FS25. But I really don't know if that would be anything interesting to watch or not, but it's kind of been in the back of my head as a thought. So if you happen to be watching this still and you hear that and it sounds like something you'd be interested, let me know, because last thing I want to do is put out a bunch of stuff for a week and nobody's interested in it, and then I just kind of wasted my time and yours for something that you're not interested in. But since they're so old, it may not really get the views and the following, right? So it really depends on those of you that watch my channel on a religious basis here, or maybe a religious basis maybe isn't the correct word, but watch my channel on a more frequent basis. There you go. If that's something that would be interesting to you to see leading up to FS25 and kind of seeing where we started from and where we're going to end up going to here. At the time of this recording. I'm recording this on, what is today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday night. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. They just released a video this morning. Tornadoes are in FS25. I'm actually really excited about that. I really wanted some real life, severe weather conditions to occur, and now we have tornadoes. So the only thing I saw, and I mentioned it in the comment that I posted the video, the gameplay footage video. I just reposted it on my channel. The only thing that I'm a little bit disappointed in, and maybe it was just the video, hopefully maybe when the real game comes out this will happen, but to me, when I was watching the trailer, and go back and watch it if you haven't, when the tornado is coming through, there are parts of it where it's close to telephone wires, telephone lines, and those lines are not moving at all. They should be shaking all over the place. Now, I'm not really asking for them to fall over or anything like that, but they should at least be moving, right? They should be moving with the wind gusts. And they didn't appear to do so. So that's a little bit disappointing. But hopefully, maybe they make a modification to it, or maybe that's just the way that the video was done. But sure didn't seem like that was a possibility, unfortunately. The other thing was just mostly like a joke that I said, but I'd love to see the tornado pick up animals and throw them like cows and stuff, like Twister, right? It's not going to happen, but I think that'd be pretty funny. Awful for you and your farm, right? You would take some damage there, or lose a cow, but I don't know. I just think that would have been a funny touch to add in. But I've rambled on for a while here, gang. We don't have a whole lot left here to do, but let's get into a groove here. Let's put a little bit of a time lapse in. Let's get this done, and we'll see where we're at when we're done. Alright, the field's done, gang, and it's been snowing for a long time, and that was not my best work. I'll fully admit that was not my best work of cultivating there. I kept missing little bits. I think the ground itself wasn't as flat as I would have liked for it to be, so it kept pushing me a little bit off of the track that I was on. But we got it done nonetheless. But it's snowing, and the series is done, gang. We really don't have anything else to do, like I said, unless we wanted to skip all the way until June so we could harvest something, but that's just a little too unrealistic at this point, I think. So we're gonna leave the series at that. Again, I will keep the save file. We may come back to it in the future if we want to revisit FS22 for whatever reason, but we're gonna leave the episode in the series there. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button if you're new. Get excited for the new mini-series that's coming out. Get excited for FS25 coming out. And I'll catch you on the next episode.